All right. Thank you all for your patience. We welcome you all once again to the webinar today. It's an exclusive webinar with the University of Otago. I would like to extend a very warm welcome to our panel guests and all the attendees today. We value your time and presence in the webinar. My name is Rashi and I am your host for today. Before going on, I would like to urge everyone to make this session interactive and engaging. Please make the best use of the question and answer tab available, and your questions will be answered towards the end of the session. Okay, so at the outset, I would like to share with all of you about who we are. We are Immigration Advisers New Zealand Ltd. We cater to student recruitments for the education providers in New Zealand and provide immigration assistance. We are based out of Auckland. We are in the sixth floor of the building that you are viewing in the image on your screens. We are a group of 4 licensed immigration advisors who have more than 20 years of experience. We have a massive client portfolio spreading across 30 countries. And not only that, our supporting staff is from 6 different nationalities. That gives us the diverse experience that we carry with us. We are locally present in India, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Philippines, Bangladesh, and the Middle East, and we are spreading globally. And yes, we do take pride in being the most reviewed licensed immigration advisors in New Zealand. All right, so on panel today we have with us Ms. Victoria McHenry, Senior Regional Market Manager at the University of Otago. She will brief us through the niche courses offered by the University of Otago and the highlights of their master's program. We also have with us Ms. Vandana Rai, Senior Licensed Immigration Advisor, and Ms. Tanuva Majumdar Bose, Licensed Immigration Advisor. Both of them are immigration expertise. They have expertise in immigration law and will guide us through the immigration aspect of studying in New Zealand today. Okay. So the scope of the webinar today is we are going to cover the academic programs offered by the education provider, the admission processes, the prerequisites for the admission, the career development, and what lies in store for the student who is aiming to study in New Zealand. Ms. Victoria will cover the courses that are widely industry driven and take us through this. Now, I would like to request Ms. Victoria to share her presentation. I would like to end my screen sharing here, and Ms. Victoria can take over. Over to you, Ms. Victoria.
Thank you so much. One moment, I'm just going to share my screen. Okay, hopefully everyone can. Please tell me, panel, if you cannot see the University of Otago and that beautiful image of the clock tower building on campus. Tēnā koutou toa, everybody. I'm saying in our Indigenous language, Māori, welcome everyone to this webinar. Now in New Zealand, and you might have heard some webinars from other providers in New Zealand, all our education system is taught in English, but we're incredibly proud of our Indigenous culture, and a lot of our signage words are multilingual. So University of Otago, or Otago Whakaahu Waka, means a place of many firsts, because the University of Otago is the first university in New Zealand to be established. We've been teaching students for over 155 years, and we were established in 1869. So for a lot of you, I've just put this slide in here just to give you an example of how sort of innovative New Zealand is if you're going to come and study here. A lot of you might not know, but we have a very strong industry in even space aviation. I know India is very strong in that area, but New Zealand also. We've got our own New Zealand company called Rocket Lab that works with governments overseas, sending satellites and rockets into space. And I think a lot of people don't realise that of New Zealand. We're very strong in renewable energy, tourism, tech and innovation, and food and beverage. And I'm going to deep dive into some of the programs programs that Otago offers of these sectors that are growing, that we need more graduates in, and that immigration advisors can kind of consult you with after this presentation. So where is the University of Otago? We are in the beautiful UNESCO City of Art and Literature called Dunedin. That's in the South Island of New Zealand, and the two gateways from the world into New Zealand and the international airports are Auckland or Christchurch. And then it's just a quick flight really from either Auckland or Christchurch down to the city of Dunedin. Otago does have campuses in Christchurch, Wellington, and also a School of Dentistry in Auckland, but nearly all of you will probably be studying in the beautiful city of Dunedin. Now, Dunedin's core sectors is education. We are the University of Otago is the largest employer in the city, so it is a true university city. But we're also the gateway to central Otago and amazing wildlife. And in summer, which is right now, we have cruise liners that come into the city every 2 days and for tourists to have a look around the area. We're a world-renowned health science university, and this reflects too in the companies that have been set up in the biotechnology companies, the hospital sector, public health in the city. We're also very strong in sciences, entrepreneurship, and as I've said there, the sectors to watch that are coming out of Otago's university and the economy is game development and health tech. So this is a bird's eye view of the city. It's a beautiful coastal city. As I said before, it's a UNESCO City of Art and Literature. It has a population of round about 150,000 people. And when the university is in session, another 20,000 students drive to live on and around the campus and within the city itself. So it's very diverse, it's very multicultural. You can see in that middle photo there, we've got a lot of different eateries, from the Mila eatery of beautiful Nepalese momos and North Indian cuisine to cha time to all sorts of Asian delicacies. We also celebrate a lot of festivals, from Diwali to Chinese New Year, etc. And it's a city that you can easily get out around, shop, explore, etc. The wonderful thing about New Zealand, if you don't know, we've got 4 very distinct seasons. So this is spring in Dunedin, summer as it is right now. We've got some beautiful beaches that you can explore, and you must try New Zealand ice cream. It is the best in the world. Dunedin is in autumn is just gorgeous with those reds, golds and yellows that are coming through the city. And then winter time, you might get to experience the Aurora Australis, which you can easily see from Dunedin, and our students love that when that happens. Or maybe one night you want to go out and see the little penguins coming in from the sea. But we're here to talk about Otago and the programs that you can study here that will lead you on to really good employment, and if you want to stay in New Zealand, and onto that 3-year post-study work visa. So as I said before, Otago is New Zealand's oldest university, established in 1869. And we're incredibly proud that it's ranked in the top 1% of universities in the world. And we take our teaching very seriously, as well as it's a research-intensive university. After the University of Auckland, Otago is ranked second highest in New Zealand with a ranking of 214, and we're a very well-rounded university, as you can see, with our top 50 to 200 subject areas, from health sciences, business, and the arts. We're also, even though we might be at the bottom of the world, we're incredibly globally connected with our academics. As you can see, basically nearly 50% of our PhD students are international. Academics that teach at Otago make up 70%. We have premier Otago research groups, centres of research excellence. This is money the New Zealand government is giving Otago to do research, to find the answers to real solutions in our communities. Now, these are the postgraduate qualifications. And what I'm going to concentrate on tonight, or this morning, I beg your pardon, is the coursework masters, 180 credits, which take either 1 to 2 years. So they're a level 9, which means that after, say, 1 year, 12 months of study, you can then apply for a 3-year post-study work visa, and you can bring your spouses with you, etc. Okay, so first up, the School of Business, wonderful Otago Business School, which is ranked first in New Zealand for the research that's coming out of our business school, and it's world accredited with EQUIS and AACBS. These are all the programs that you can do in the subject areas. And tonight, this morning, I am talking about the Master of Business. So the Master of Business has these majors in the yellow box that you can take, and you can choose 3 options of how you would like to frame your program. So in 12 months, you might like to do a coursework and a project. The project would be in the summer holidays, an industrial related project, or you might be interested in research. So you might want to do some papers and coursework plus a dissertation. Or no, I just want to get my master's. I just want to do coursework, just those papers. I want to get employer ready and then get out there and work. So we've got something for everyone. To come into any of our taught masters, we are looking at the equivalent of an Otago B in your undergraduate degree. Okay, an Otago B it depends on your pass rate of your university, but for the average, it sits around about 60 to 64%. And for the majority of the programs, we're looking at an overall GPA. There are just some programs that we look at the final year of your GPA to work out a B, but majority, it's basically an overall GPA of a B, and we do allow some backlogs. We understand that it is life. Sometimes, fail things, that's fine. Okay, so these are some of our really popular ones. Accounting and finance, all right? That's for students who might have a bachelor's degree with sciences or quantitative focus. Remember, it's always that B average. And basically, an accounting and finance major it won't allow you into chartered accountancy. That's not what it's designed for. But it does set you up for roles in tax, audit, consulting, risk advisory, and even actuarial services. Economics, our graduates are working in the big 4. So from, your PwC, Deloitte's, EY, KPMG. And in New Zealand, international students can work in government departments. Finance. We do require a bachelor degree, once again, like the accounting, in sciences or quantitative focus. But once again, we have the largest Blueburn terminal in New Zealand, and our students in finance, that can lead to chartered financing degrees after you finish your master's. Marketing. In New Zealand, we've got so many small to medium sized businesses, and we do need good marketers in New Zealand. It's any discipline background that can come in and apply for a Master of Marketing. Master of Business Data Science is open to any students with a background, any background. We get a lot of engineers that come and apply for Master of Business Data Science, but we do want to see either some sort of maths in your undergrad or computer software. Tourism. Otago is ranked in the 23rd best in the world for our Department of Tourism. And it's in one of the most beautiful parts of the country as well. It really is God's own playground while you're studying down here in Otago. Any background is fine to come into the Master of Tourism, and tourism is one of the backbones of our largest sort of export industries in New Zealand. Master of Sustainable Business, that sits under our Department of Management. When I went on, not Traby, on seek.co.nz, a very good recruitment site, seek.co.nz, if the panel could put that in the chat. And that's a great site where you can put in keywords and see all the jobs that drop down. And sustainable business, there are a lot of companies and multinationals looking for sustainable business managers. International business, very popular with international students to come and do international business. Once again, it's open to any discipline and a B average. Into the sciences. So it's easier to tell you the sciences Otago doesn't have. We do not have a College of Engineering nor veterinarian, but we really do cover all the sciences apart from those majors. So you do have your Research Master of Science if you want to carry on and do a PhD. If you do want to do research in the sciences area, you will need to find an academic who is willing to supervise you, and you do need to have a research proposal thought out. Doesn't have to come to fruition, but they will want to see that as part of the application. For those that just wanted taught masters, we have the Master of Applied Science, and you can see the study options on the right. Some very popular ones at Otago is the Master of Applied Science in Food and Agriculture, and it's on the green list. Artificial intelligence, molecular biotechnology, and I'll deep dive into these. Once again, a B average to come in. So two popular ones with international students is the Master of Applied Science Quantitative Genetics. We're world famous at Otago for our genetics, and microbiology and immunology. Please note they are 18 months and 2 years for these two programs. As I said before, a very popular program we're getting a lot of applications for is the Master of Applied Science in Food and Agriculture, and it is open to any discipline. So you do a lot of modules in it. So say you were interested more in, you're coming from a marketing side and want to get into an FMCG doing the food marketing, then you'd take marketing and food science modules. If you want to be a food scientist and you've come from the science background and microbiology background, then you would sort of take those modules. If you want to get into agricultural technology and innovation or health and safety, etc. So it's very fluid, very flexible, depending on what your wants and needs are in that program. Plant biotechnology is another very popular one as well. You do require either plant biotechnology or a botany background. In the city itself, we've got at least 5 startup biotechnology companies that have been started up by graduates and academics, and even a couple of those are on the New Zealand share market now as well. Right, that's biotechnology. A very popular program at the moment is the Master of Applied Science in Artificial Intelligence. We have 2 different streams. If you have no computer background, you can come into this and it would take you 18 months. 6 months of getting up to speed with different programming, computer studies before going into artificial intelligence. But if you do come from a computer science background, background, you can go into the artificial intelligence program and finish it in 12 months. In our School of Business, we do have, this is Health Sciences and Sciences, we do have industry placement and internships, as well as in our arts as well. And I was telling you that industry project is like a work-based project. Humanities. We've got a very large humanities with different schools and colleges. I'm going to focus on the Master of Arts, the coursework, 100% papers only, or you can do a coursework and dissertation, which is up to 20,000 words. In the yellow there are all the majors, which you can take under your Master of Arts. And once again, you need an Otago B, and there are internships available. Master of Politics and Master of International Studies are two very popular programs at Otago. Basically, once again, it's a B background for Master of Politics, but they do want to see in your bachelor degree that you've taken some sort of politics, political science, international relations in that area, basically. And international studies, the wonderful thing in international studies is you are taught by staff. It's very interdisciplinary. So as well as international politics, global economics, international law, and peace and conflict studies. And then there'll be also a supervised research essay as part of that 1-year program. Our graduates are going into the public service, diplomacy, journalism, and business as well. On the green list, and the green list is the short skills list, is teaching. And Otago has a 1-year Master of Teaching and Learning in the majors of early childhood, primary, and secondary teaching. It does have one intake, January. So for those that are listening at the moment, you would look at coming 2026. We do need you to have an IELTS of 7, no band below 7, before you apply for this program. And this program is open from the 1st of May to the 31st of July. There is a small amount, a number for international students to do Master in Teaching and Learning because you're going to have to be placed into schools, early childcare centres, etc. So there is an interview that will take place to shortlist the students, and then you'll find out if you've got into the program. But it is the earliest start of our programs is January. Master of Social and Community Work, it says 12 to 18 months there. So once again, an IELTS of 7, no band below 7, because you're being put into placements out in the community. What they will look at for social work, so for students who are social workers in their own country, this does lead you to getting registered in New Zealand as well. However, they can see in your CV that you haven't done any Māori or Pacific Island cultural papers. This is where the extra 6 months comes into it. You will start in basically doing 3 Māori, Pacific Island and Treaty of Waitangi papers, and then start your social and community work masters for the following 12 months. So it makes an 18-month program. For those students that have shown that you've already done a Treaty of Waitangi or a Māori paper, then it's a 12-month program. And we have a humanities internship for that international students can go into. Health sciences. Now, we've got a very famous medical school. We've got the only dentistry school, physiotherapy, School of Pharmacy, and Biomed Sci. However, we don't have many programs that are taught masters in this division. The Master of Public Health is one of them, and any student from any background can apply for the Master of Public Health. It is a 2-year program. And you can see there, it focuses on epidemiology, society, health promotion. There are good career opportunities in New Zealand, and Otago was sort of the leaders behind the government within the COVID period of giving the government the advice on what they should do for the next steps when it came to public health. The other one, which is on the green list, is the Master of Nursing Science. Once again, a 2-year program. This is taught in our Christchurch campus, and it leads to registration for a nurse in New Zealand. And it's also, if you want to go and work in America, it's also accredited to the American nursing system as well. You only need a B. The thing to look out with this program is if you are already a registered nurse, you will get declined. This is a conversion master's. It is designed for students who have no nursing background. You can come from a health profession, you can come from an arts or a business profession. There will be an interview. It is an IELTS of 6.5, no band below 6, because after the 2 years, then you go for registration, which means then, of course, like an IELTS, that expires after 2 years. So you will need to reach that 7, no band below 7, when you go for registration. So just a quick overview of the program summary of taught masters, 180-point masters, that any background, and you can come in and study. So I keep talking, and here we go again. For taught master programs, it's a GPA of an Otago B, which, and this shows it better. If it's a 30% pass mark in your institution, 55 to 59, but if it's a 40% pass rate, it's about 60 to 64% is what we're looking at. Or if it's a grade point, we're looking at probably a 3.2 to come in. IELTS 6.5, we have TOEFL, PTE, we also have Duolingo. For students from India, a lot of the large public institutions and private institutions that are taught in English, then your English is waived. You will not have to sit in IELTS, TOEFL, etc. Except for those that lead to registration, like your social and community work, your teaching and learning. So what do we need from you? Or what does immigration advisors need from you? What they want to see is for PG, they want to see, of course, your tertiary education transcripts, consolidated mark sheets, your diploma, and also that grade scale so that we can figure out the GPA, and also we can also offer you a scholarship. And I'm going to go into that. That's it, and some form of ID. As the application goes into, as immigration advisors is doing the application, there will be sometimes it will prompt the consultants that a CV is needed or a statement of interest is needed. But to start off the application, this is all you need are your consolidated mark sheets, your diploma and your grade scale and ID. So our academic year, the next big academic year starts in the mid-February. Semester 2 starts the first week of July, and we do have a summer school, but it is for undergrads and it is really more for students that are studying at Otago. So right now, the university has closed, exams are over, students have gone except for research and PhD students. They are now on break and don't need to be back on campus until the 16th of February. So our taught master students are now doing their project work, their industry workplace, or their dissertation while the summer holidays is on. And with their student visa, they can work full-time as well during the summer holidays. Fabulous. For those students that do need IELTS or English and haven't quite managed to get the right band, you can come to Otago 12 weeks before and do English for Otago. This doesn't lead you to a 7, it leads you to a 6.5, but we do have that opportunity for you as well. So, postgrad scholarships. We've got a wonderful array of postgraduate scholarships. The first thing is as soon as you get an undergraduate, as soon as you get an offer of place, you will receive, if the admissions is worked out that you've got a GPA of a B plus or higher, then automatically on your offer, $10,000 scholarship is sitting there. No need for you to do anything, no need for the consultants to do anything. As long as admissions sees that you've got a B plus or higher, that $10,000 appears on your offer and it comes automatically off your tuition. So you get a 10,000 or a 5 lakhs scholarship straight away. For research master students, you will be invited to apply for a research scholarship. That would bring your fees down by whatever the equivalent is of the domestic fee, and also a stipend of over 18,000. And then for doctoral scholarships who are on the line, there are doctoral scholarships. If you're successful in getting one, then your fees for the 3 years are paid for, and we give you 32, well, it's actually, I got an email today, it's gone up to 33 from next year, 33,000 for over the 3 years. So every year for over 36 months. Right, I've got a few minutes left. I'm quickly going to go on to accommodation. For postgrads, we have residential college called Torua Residential College. We call it a college. It's it's like a dormitory, but it's your own bedroom. You're sharing a bathroom and in a small sort of flatting environment, and you're doing your own cooking in the college, and that's Torua College. But the majority of our postgraduate students go into university flats, and this is what they look like. Gorgeous little houses, walking distance on or around the campus, even a beautiful little garden. You get your own bedroom, but you're sharing with other international students, and you're doing all your own cooking. We try and put a Kiwi host, a New Zealander, into the flat with you so they can introduce you to their friends, the New Zealand culture. You can all go shopping together. There's a party down the next street type of thing. Your weekly rent includes your utilities. There is no bond, okay? Usually when you go private flatting, you pay 3 to 4 weeks of bond. No need. The university is the landlord. These flats are very high spec. You just bring your suitcase in and everything is there. And there's also a bedding pack for you. We've got approximately 200 flats that we own on and around the campus, 900 beds. We have a small stock of housing for families, and we also have housing stock for couples as well. A fabulous way. It's very economical when you don't have to pay power and Wi-Fi. You can have that heat pump on. They make it as hot as Bangalore or Sri Lanka, and have nice hot long showers, and no, you don't have to have a huge power bill at the end of each month. So here, this is the accommodation fee. On the right-hand side, I've worked out in Indian lakhs. So a residential college is 9.5 lakhs for the year. Uni flats is 3.3 per semester, and then I worked out private. It's around about 2.9 per semester to live in private accommodation. So our tuition fees for taught masters sit around about 34 lakhs before the scholarship, and the cost of living's around about 10 to 12 lakhs per year. And that just shows you for our taught masters how much things cost. And you can take that QR code if you want to check out more costings. Now, living costs, it is a city. It's a city with museums and art galleries and shops and cafes and nightclubs. And we've got wonderful supermarkets. We've got Yogji's, which is a South Asian supermarket. We've got Asian supermarkets. So there is no excuse not to be able to cook your mum's favourite meal. You can get ingredients in Dunedin. And also there's a lot of shops. We've got Kmart, which is like Aldi in South Asia, that you can get bits and pieces for. I'm going to finish actually. I can see that I'm coming up to the end of my time. So I'm going to sort of just finish on the next couple of screenshots, just to just sort of remind you that it's not all about just coming and studying. You need to, when you're coming overseas or studying overseas, you want a well-rounded experience, and Otago can give you that. So as well as you studying, we've got wonderful support facilities for you from our Otago Career Development Centre, Dunedin Entrepreneur Ecosystem, Social Impact Studio, clubs, societies, Unipol. All these things are free for you to make sure that when you are going for that job after you've graduated, you've got basically the graduate opportunities, attributes needed that an employer is looking for. 95% of our Otago graduates go directly into work or further study. That is an incredible milestone. And we are with you, giving you wonderful support while you're studying at Otago. So I'll leave it there. Because I'm sure hopefully there's some questions that you'd like me to ask. So I'm just going to stop my share and go back with the panel. One moment.
Thank you, Victoria. That was indeed an informative session. And I'm sure a lot of our students are going to benefit out there with the information that you've shared and also about the way of life in New Zealand. Thank you so much. I would now like to hand over to Ms. Vandana, who's going to give an insight about the master's programs in New Zealand and the norms for the partners and dependent visas in New Zealand. Over to you, Vandana.
Thank you, Rashi. Victoria, really appreciate your taking out time. And one thing which we really have to learn as well is getting that energy that you had in the webinar. So Friday evening, guys, 6 p.m., now 6:30 p.m. here in New Zealand, and look at your energy. So Grenadian definitely has got something to do with it. Probably we need to explore. Definitely, yes. So I wanted to highlight the benefits and the highlights of the master's courses. So if an international student considers studying a master's here in New Zealand, what are the highlights then? So a master's program, 30 weeks or longer, gives you 3 years of post-study work visa. Team, if I can have the previous slide, please. Okay, thank you. So you get 3 years of post-study work visa where you are able to work full-time for any employer anywhere in New Zealand. If you plan to do a PG diploma or level 8, that gives a 1-year post-study work visa. The master's courses, like Victoria explained, can range from 1 year to 2 years. Also depends on the coursework, research, the credit points that you are doing. So the duration could range between 1 to 2 years. Masters of Research gives an opportunity to work full-time while you are studying. So that's for all other programs, for all other masters, you have the work rights, which is 20 hours a week while you are studying, and full times when you are on scheduled vacations or summer vacations. Partners, if you're studying a master's program, would be eligible to apply for a partner of a student work visa where they would have open work rights. They can work for any employer anywhere in New Zealand and can also be self-employed. Dependent children can get a chance and can study as a domestic fee on a dependent child student visa. So these are the benefits the family has if one of the parent considers studying a master's program here in New Zealand. A streamlined pathway masters have towards the residence now. Under the skilled migrant category, one needs to have 6 points to be eligible for a residence visa, and 5 points out of these 6 points a master's qualification can give. Other than that, you need to have 1 year of skilled work experience to gather the remaining 1 point, and definitely the master's gives you an opportunity to be on a post-study work visa for 3 years. So enough time for you to gather the remaining 1 point if you have to. However, if your master's or if your study is in the green list, there could be alternate paths also leading to residence, which could be straight to residence or work to residence path as well. And the programs which are in demand: teaching, nursing, healthcare. Victoria has covered a lot in detail. Teaching, definitely you have to work much in advance. Like she said, the intakes possible now would be January or February 2026. So especially for teaching and those highly niche and specialized programs which have only one intake a year, the sooner you decide, the better it is for you. If we move on to the next one, basically, I wanted to explain further on what courses gives partners what visa rights. So we've discussed a lot on masters today. So the masters will give partners, if it's a married student or a student in partnership, the option to apply for a partner of a student work visa. And there are some other specific courses which are on Appendix 13, which also provide the partners eligibility to work. All other programs, be it bachelor's or other or PGDIP, it doesn't mean that the family has to be separated. The partners can still accompany. However, it would be on a partner of a student visitor visa. Good thing, New Zealand immigration and New Zealand as a whole does can give a lot of importance to the family unit. So if you are in a genuine relationship, there would be an option for the partner to come along. So that's good. Dependent children, depending upon the age, depending upon the course the one of the parent is doing or the visa the other parent is on, would either be eligible for a dependent child student visa or a dependent child visitor visa. On a dependent child student visa, I'm saying it again, the children can study on a domestic fee, which is like free education here in New Zealand. So that's it from me, and we'll cover more details based on the questions that you all attendees have. So thank you. Over to you, Rashi.
Thank you, Vandana, for such a great informative insight about this. I would just like to make a note. The audience, please note that this is not tailor-made immigration advice. This is a generic advice that the LIA has given to you. For any tailor-made advice, you need to connect with us. These are only general provisions that were shared with you. Our contact details are there on the screen. You can drop us an email at contact@nzimmigration.info. As we shared earlier, we are based out of Auckland. Our address is visible on your screens along with our contact numbers. Please feel free to connect with us at any time. Okay, moving on. So we'll open the forum for the question and answer session. Please feel free to ask any questions. I'll just go through the question and answer box of the webinar if we have any questions to be answered. Okay, so the first question, I would like to pass it to Victoria. Hi, Ms. Victoria. The question says, is there support available for international students in the program?
There's a lot of support. So first of all, we've got the University International Office support. So once you arrive, we've got a team of support staff that are there to basically help you with any advice, if you've got any problems, issues, and that could be private, personal, academic. They become your aunties and your uncles that you can go to. The other support that we have is to, even once you've started studying and say that you're doing a program that's more than 1 year, we also have a conveyancy team as well that can help you with reissuing your visa and assistance with visa as well. Then within the university, so we have the Careers Development Service that is there to help you. We have at master's level and PhD level, we've got the Graduate Research School. So they have things like a graduate wellbeing coach who you can go and speak to when, and she can help plan out your degree and when you especially are putting your dissertation together and it's all a little bit overwhelming, there's someone to talk to. We have 7 libraries and on campus, and within those libraries, students at master's and PhD level will get their own specialist librarian to help them with their taught their syllabus. Within the actual now, when I talk about masters and at postgrad at Otago, they are small numbers. So you have a real one-on-one, basically working, studying relationship with your basically academic who's taking, or the academics, the staff within that department. So I just wanted to make that clear as well, because I know there are other universities which are huge and have a huge number of international students, and you don't get that real kind of one-on-one personal kind of relationship. So you will be, while you're doing your master's or even your PhD, very much getting a lot of feedback on how you're going. And when I talk to students, they love that. That is a real aspect of Otago, which they really enjoy. Then we've got the Careers Development Centre too. You can go along anytime to the Careers Development Centre and they can help you with your CV, your interview techniques. They organise all the big career fairs to come to Dunedin, to come onto campus. They do different themes throughout the year. The nice thing about our Careers Development Centre, if you're coming with your spouse, they are more than happy to help your partner as well. This is all free. So they too. And of course, Dunedin is a smaller city than, say, Auckland or Christchurch. And sometimes the opportunities within Dunedin that aren't as great for the partner. And I'm talking about they might be a financial controller for EY. We do have Ernst & Young in the city, but those sort of opportunities, they're probably already taken. So they can kind of talk to your spouse about the networking opportunities in Dunedin, as well as organising the CV and helping them with interview techniques, etc. We have our own health centre on campus. We've got our own doctors, nurses, psychologists. It is like the university is like a little city within itself, within the city. And all students have insurance, so all your basically medical needs are met and you don't need to pay for them as long as you go to our university doctors, nurses, or psychologists. I think I've covered a lot. There's a lot of support and it's all free. We are here to help you. We want you to succeed. We want you to do well when you come to the University of Otago. I think it's that South Island sort of hospitality, manaakitanga, that we talk about, which means that you are a guest in our country, you're a guest in our university, and we treat our guests, our students, with respect.
No, thank you, Victoria. I would just like to ask one further clarification. So did you mean that when career advice or the support is being given, so that's kind of extended to partners of students as well?
That is correct, yes.
That's
And
so
that's free,
great.
free advice, free. It's not paid for. Yeah.
That's really great. I would like
Yeah.
to inform this to the attendees. A lot of time we see our students who come to study have partners who are equally skilled. And if they get the right advice at the right time, the partners have an option to then become the main applicant for a residence visa application also. So definitely they need right advice, right time, a lot of questions. And if the university is offering that support to partners as well, that's really one big good thing. Not all universities extend it to
Yeah.
partners of students. Yeah.
I want to be a little bit honest here as well, because as I said before, Dunedin is a smaller city than, say, Christchurch or Auckland. And when I'm overseas and I'm consulting with students, and I'm talking especially to female students who are bringing their husbands with them, I'm very honest. I always ask, what does your husband do? Oh, he's a civil engineer or a mechanical engineer, da 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 da. And I just say sometimes, just check out the right city for you. I mean, all the universities in New Zealand are very good quality. So sometimes you have to look at where is the best fit for your family too. Because, and I'm talking to female students here, that it's a huge burden or it's very challenging for you to come and study and then to have that extra stress behind you of your husband who cannot find a job when he's here, or the job that he's used to and has to take another job that might not be paid as much or might be completely different to what he's doing. Your marriage comes first, okay? Study comes second. So, and this is where immigration advisors are fabulous as an agency and should also be doing counselling you. But I just want to be totally honest there. If I'm, thinking from a family, we want you to be happy, and I think that's more important in the end of the day. Yeah.
No, thank you. I appreciate that feedback. And when we counsel these kind of students, that's exactly what we do. So if there are two of them, okay, both wants to study, who is a better fit to study, who has more chances to get a job, and like you said, which city, what kind of role. So definitely yes. Thank you for that insight, Victoria. Over to you, Rashi. Kind of overstretched this question, but it was important.
Yeah, thank you, Victoria and Vanna. Our next question is, what career opportunities are available after completing the NPH program? Over to you, Victoria.
So the Master of Public Health is very interdisciplinary. I find it really fascinating when I'm talking to academics from it, and you can see their passion coming through. So a lot of probably public health graduates will go into government organisations. So in New Zealand, it could be the Heart Foundation. It could be the New Zealand Diabetes, Red Cross. These are these big global health, public health and you're doing the marketing promotion into the public. You might become a consultant as well for private organisations. You might end up working in the hospital as well, within their public health department too, of educating patients on they've just had a big, huge heart operation or whatever, and you're trying to explain to them basically how to make sure that they're healthy going forward. So it is, public health is all about health promotion, basically, and also health public policies too. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Victoria. The next question is, what career opportunities are available after completing the Master of Social and Community Work applied?
So you are at least being a social worker in New Zealand. Once again, you could be working for the government, for the Ministry of Social Work. You could be working for community organisations that are out in the community as a social worker, basically. Or you might want to go into academia or a policy advisory in social work, but it does lead to becoming a registered social worker. And I think the nice thing about New Zealand is we are getting more diverse, bicultural. We do need more social workers in that represent all the different communities in New Zealand. But we in New Zealand, we have a very long-standing treaty called the Treaty of Waitangi, and our most vulnerable in New Zealand are Māori and Pacific Island families. So the Master of Social Work is very, very heavy when it comes to with the theory side of it, of Māori and Pacific Island cultural practices. So you will be learning a lot about that and learning about the Treaty of Waitangi, because that basically as from a government legislation, has a very heavy involvement in social work. Yeah.
All right. Okay, the next question is, if I have a diploma in computer studies but have more than 20 years of working experience in IT, including as head of IT operations, systems engineer, database administrator, IT project manager, can I join any master program straight without the need to go for bachelor or graduate diploma?
Ooh, at Otago, no. Um, I know that I think there are some universities that have like pre-master foundation programs for this type of student that leads in, but at Otago we don't. Our admissions team would look at the diploma, see and work out what would be the equivalent to the level of in New Zealand, and then go back with a kind of a study plan. But that might mean you then do like a graduate diploma first of all, which is made up of sort of second and third year undergraduate papers that then lead into the major, into the masters. Sorry. Yeah, yeah, that's the only trouble. When it comes to work, we get the work experience, but it's still from academic regulations. They are quite strict on the background of the student. Mm.
All right. Thank you, Victoria. Our next question is, what is the expected time frame for receiving an offer letter from the University of Otago's admission team?
This from a student or is this from a consultant at Immigration Advisors? Why I say that is, look, Otago is very popular with the international market, and and right now, and we're always trying to get better processes and get quicker. We are not the quickest university in New Zealand to turn around offers. I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to be honest. When it comes to though the taught masters and those like business, where they don't have to go out to the department and be assessed. Admissions just looks, they're looking for that GPA, any background, that's fine, it's just a B, then we can turn them around quickly. As soon as they go out to the departments and maybe there's an interview involved, etc., it does start to slow down the process as they start to look at things in batches. I'm going to say basically so that I'm not over promising and under delivering. I'm going to say for a taught masters in applied sciences, which do have to go out to the department. For public health, they do, for teaching, for social work. I would say probably a good 4 weeks. For our Master of Business, that can be turned around quite quickly. I'm going to say 2 weeks. So I know there are other universities that turn them around in 48 hours, but I'm sorry, but once you're here at Otago, you're going to enjoy that program. And it's all about, at the end of the day, getting that good job. And Otago's brand in New Zealand is so well thought of. We've got very famous alumni and a lot of alumni that are vice presidents, presidents, etc., in multinational companies in New Zealand and around the world. And they're proud of having been at Otago. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, the next question says, I am an HR professional, but I want to opt for the 2-year nursing course. But I am worried, how would INZ view such an application? Would they assess my genuine interest in this course? How can I prove my genuine interest in the course? Can I
So yeah.
yeah.
So I mean, look, immigration advisors, they are the experts when it comes to visa application. I'm going to tell you a little story. Now, I met a wonderful girl a lovely Kolkata girl, and this was at a fair, and she had done fine arts. And she was interested in nursing. And I'm like, well, why are you interested in nursing? She said, look, I'm the eldest daughter, and my mother had a terrible stroke. And I was told that, being the eldest, I looked after her. And so I got involved, I saw what the nurses were doing and how they were helping my mother in rehabilitation and everything. And I realized that this was my calling. And so it came through that first of all, that passion came through when she had the interview for nursing and her cover letter and explained why she wants to do nursing. That all came through. She got an offer. And then Immigration New Zealand interviewed her as well. They could see it as well. And here she is now being a nurse in New Zealand. So it's very important that your statement of interest, the interview, that you're doing it for the right reasons, and you are competing with other students. It's not an unlimited program. We have about 10 places for international students on the nursing program because we've got to place you in hospitals and other facilities in Christchurch. It comes down to that passion. Why do you want to be a nurse? Yeah.
Thank you, Victoria. The next question is, are there any seats available for the Master of Nursing? So probably they are trying to ask for which intake the seats are
So
available.
it's closed now. It's only got one intake, which is February every year. So nursing closes on the 31st of August. All our applications or our programs for 2026 now will open on the 1st of May. And for nursing, you've got from the 1st of May to the 31st of August to get your application in. There's CV, there's a few documents that you've got to get in as part of the application. Then they wait until the 31st of August. They wait for the whole batch, and then they start to shortlist. They interview you, and then you'll find out if you've got an offer or not.
All right. Thank you. The next attendee is asking, is the automatic $10,000 scholarship available to research master student over and above the research master scholarship, which is application based?
Yeah, yep, as long as you've got, so that scholarship that I talked about was even for PG Dip masters. So yep, as long as you got a B plus or higher, you'll automatically get $10,000. And then if you're going for a research masters, then there'll also be an invitation to apply for the research masters scholarship as well.
All right, thank you. The next question asks, is 1 year master 120 credit or 180 credit?
Yep. Well, you've got research master, which can be 1 year when you're just doing a dissertation, which is about 40,000 words over the year. That's 120 credits. But when we call a taught coursework master, at Otago, they are 180 credits.
All right. Thank you so much, Victoria. I think it's time now. While we have tried to answer as many questions as possible, if you still have questions that are left unanswered, please feel free to connect with us at our mailbox, contact@nzimmigration.info. We will be more than happy to assist you over there. Right. Before closing the webinar, I would like to ask our panel speakers to address the audience. Over to you, Ms. Victoria, Ms. Vandana, and Mr. Nova to address our audience.
Thank you so much for listening to me. I hope you found that interesting. The University of Otago is just a very welcoming university. And you can see my name there as well. You can, if you Google me or email me on Otago University, you're more than welcome to contact me directly as well if you've got more questions. And I hope one day to see you on campus and say hello to you in person.
Thank you so much, Victoria. Appreciate your taking out time. Thank you all the attendees for being here today. We do understand relocating or studying in an overseas country or getting international education is not an easy thing to probably decide on. So you may have more questions than we have answered. Happy to connect, answer all your questions, so you are confident of the decision that you are making. So thank you for attending.
All right. Thank you everyone for your presence marked at the webinar today. It was wonderful hosting you all. Thank you once again.